Okay, I'm trying to go live. Let's see if it works. I haven't done it in a while, so testing for now. Please let me know if the sound is bad or the picture isn't good enough, and I will try to adjust. Anyway, what we're going to be talking about, it's not going to be a very Ruby on Rails specific topic in this video, but later on when we are going to actually build the app, it's going to be more Rails specific. So I've just generated this thumbnail and created this live stream, and what is it all about? I really want to take part in this Ruby on Rails software as a service conference, and I kind of I don't have any SaaS, so I want to create one before the conference. I really felt kind of challenged to do it, and I've just bought a domain, CertificateOwl.com, and I will try to create an application. Now, what is it going to be about? Actually, I already pitched this idea around a year ago on a startup competition in Warsaw. And what was it about? Basically, like there are these kinds of certificates of participation, or certificates that a person has specific language skills, or university certificates. And this is just an example of certificate that we used to give around 10 years ago in Ukraine when I used to work in a language school. So we used to kind of have a Word document, and we would change the names, the information, and put in a nice sheet of paper and print it out on this fancy sheet of paper and put our stamps and signatures of the examiners. And well, this is kind of quite an outdated approach, and like for the remote work and everything, you don't really have a way to show your physical certificates. Digital ones would be a way to go. And like there's LinkedIn with a way of to show your licenses and certifications that have a digital link to them, that have some kind of credential ID. And yeah, so I got these two certificates on LinkedIn. Let me try opening one of them. Yeah, hello Abdullahi, thanks, and Akshayumar. Yeah, nice to hear from you too, man. Um, so I got this couple of certificates, but if I click show on credential, that well, the company placed these certificates on their own website, and after some time they decided that they don't want to maintain this page anymore. So the link to the certificate doesn't actually work. So yeah, because the company did it on their own, they didn't like outsource this thing, and it was an additional burden for them to create the certificates and host the certificates. So like, it doesn't exist anymore. And the idea, the product idea, was that there would be a website where you select a certificate template, you upload a list of people's like names, emails, their achievements, and yeah, like here you've got an SCSV that you upload with like names and emails, achievements, and you would automatically generate certificates, send the certificates by email to the recipients, and each certificate would also maybe have a QR code that you can open from your phone, and each of them would have a unique URL that can be verified, and it would be all hosted on our platform, so that like companies as universities or language schools or any kind of other companies that provide certificates don't have to solve the problem of like providing certificates on their own. They can just generate and send them to recipients through our platform, and also host them on their platform. So yeah, here is an example of like a basic certificate without a lot of styling. Here is an example of sending an email that this like an automatically generated email that like you've received a certificate. You can view the generated PDF. So I've got a domain, I've got an idea. Abdullahi, right now I'm not in Ukraine, I'm in France right now. My whole family had to leave Ukraine when the war started. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a domain, I've got an idea, and before actually starting building, like, okay, I want to build it, I want to see how it's gonna work. I think a correct approach is to check, like, are there already such services? If there are, how do they work? So I'm googling certificate generation tools, and the first thing I see is this a link of these, and it leads me to a blog post by one of these certificate generation tools. So you see, this blog post has like really great SEO because it like pushes into Google that, okay, this is the best way to generate certificates. So I would suppose this might be one of the competitors. And yeah, I see a list of different tools. So Certifier is the one that whose website I'm looking on. Canva, I mean, you just like style stuff. It's not really a certificate generation tool. Simple Certificate, this is also a competitor. Banner Snack, similar to Canva, so no. Certificate Magic, we'll have a look. But anyway, let's start by looking at this Certifier app. So Professional Certificate Maker, create and send certificates. Yes, this is something in the line of what I want to do. So I see different certificate templates. I see you can like fill in different data, send certificates, list of recipients. This actually sounds a lot like what I want to do. So create, issue, download PDF, send email, verify, share certificates, add to LinkedIn. Yeah, actually, this add to LinkedIn button is really cool, and it is quite easy to do. So I've already made a tiny bit of research, and like you can add this create your certification button for LinkedIn, so that you would have like a smart URL, and you kind of click a button and automatically add some kind of certificate to your profile. Let's do some more research on this certifier. Let's have a look at their LinkedIn page. Okay, 7 employees. Engineer. Let's see what tech they use. JavaScript. What else has he got? React, yeah. So they seem to be using React for their front end, and maybe well for everything. Here, let's see, HTML, TypeScript, React. Okay, so they are definitely not using Ruby on Rails. They're using like JavaScript-ish stuff. Let's have a look at some more people. Okay. Yeah, licenses and certifications. You see, licenses and certifications. Let's have a look at somebody else. So, oh, this is actually really interesting. So you see, he works at Certifier, and he issued himself a certificate from Certifier. I guess users should have an editor to design the template. Also, it'd be better to have general ready templates that can be used. Yeah, I really agree. I think I would start by like having a list of general templates that can be used, and maybe later, already after validation, already after having like a few customers, then possibly add like a JavaScript-ish certificate editor. But let's have a look at this credential. So I click on this credential, and it redirects me. Will it actually even work? Okay, it is working. So some kind of staging environment. They've got another domain creds first. This might be a fake like type of organization. Here is some kind of badge, not an actual certificate. Some kind of verify button. Okay, so this is like nothing. It's just filler. And some links to share the certificate, a URL, a download link. And yeah, here it is, add to LinkedIn profile. Okay, I would, let's say, click add to LinkedIn profile, and you see it generates this smart URL as described in this LinkedIn add to profile mini website. And I can automatically open my LinkedIn with all this pre-filled information to add it to my LinkedIn profile. So, looks fine. Now let's see a bit more how this application works. Let's get started. Oh, come on, I need to verify the email. I should have maybe used a real one. Okay, let me use something like this. Oh my god, now you will know my password. Okay, let's just sign in with Google, whatever. Yeah, so like competitor analysis must be really important whenever you start building anything, before you start building anything, and it would also maybe give you a better idea of what you want. Okay, so what type of business? Let's say small business. What will you issue certificates for? And this is already interesting because it gives you a grasp of who your target audience can be. So let's make some notes like target audiences. This can be webinars. What else? Online, offline events. Graduation, online course. Test or survey. Membership, yeah, certificate of membership. Achievement, conference. Program or training. School, children or education. Corporate training, product certification. Actually, I think the corporate training one could be quite big. When I used to work at Procter & Gamble, we had lots of like trainers who came to visit the company, and we were issued certificates that like you visited the 7 habits of highly successful people or something like that. Product certification might be something like you completed the training on AWS something, or on using Microsoft Azure as a DevOps or whatever. Okay, this is actually really useful because we can see a list of events that you could issue certificates for, and also yeah, some nice pictures of just random certificates. Yeah, let's say online event, whatever. How many certificates? Well, this doesn't matter much now, just once occasionally. You see, it's quite nice to make this kind of form before actually letting users access your application. Okay, main objective. Save time and automate. Yeah, so these are like the value propositions that the product offers. Save time and automate. Professional and memorable. Yeah, so like you can give certificates as a memorabilia. That's also nice. Like, oh, you have visited this event. Boost marketing. And help with employability. This is also a strong one, I believe. That's why I would want to potentially add a certificate to my LinkedIn profile. Okay, let's play with the application. So, okay, let's explore later. So it actually reminds me of the Piplet video that I've done before. We create a group, and instead of like sending a test to do for the group, we just send them certificates. So we could select a design, yeah, create certificate design, and I think we're coming to what Abdullahi mentioned, the editor to design the template. So there are lots of a real lot of different templates, and a lot of placeholder fields. So this is not really a placeholder field. The certificate is presented to not a placeholder either. Here I think that would be the logo of your organization, name of recipient, some kind of description, issue date, the unique ID of the certificate, company name, issuer, and some kind of other information. So let's see what fields, what types of fields we would be able to usually have on a certificate. Yeah, so there are different types of certificates. Let's also think about the database modeling. So we have certificate templates. It would be actually a model in your application. A certificate template would possibly have a name, and it would have a lot of conditional fields, and we wouldn't be able to map all the fields in a database. We would maybe have a JSON field that would contain all the variants for the specific template, like modifications. Can we use Hotwire for the editor instead of React? You know, as long as we don't drag and drop stuff like this, then I think it is doable. Like if we had a list of fields that we are editing either above this, I'm not sure how to do the drag and drop part. Like we would have to maybe calculate some kind of pixel movement. I'm really not sure how to do this. But a part of like drag and dropping things, I think that's doable. We could try doing that. So we would have a name of each certificate, like certificate of achievement, certificate of whatever, and there would be a lot of modifications. And it would the modifications would maybe be some kind of like hash, and we would have like let's say recipient name, that would be a text or a string. We would have a description, like recipient description, maybe the reason. I think the recipient name would always be present, so it wouldn't actually be a notification. Yeah. No. Wrong. Okay, we've got recipient name, recipient description, issuing date. It would be date time. Then UID. For this, I think if using Ruby on Rails, we would use something like friendly ID. Logo URL, so the company logo, like your company's logo, and issuer name and issuer role. Drag and drop can be done via Stimulus.js. Well, I mean, we would have to somehow store the specific coordinates of where we dragged an element and dropped it. That might be doable, but for the moment sounds challenging. I really haven't done research, but sounds like an interesting topic. Actually, Abdullahi, let me know if you have a proof of concept of doing that. That would be really, really cool. Like a canvas, and where we can drag and drop and store the location. Okay, so we've got logo URL and issuer name and issue description, maybe like the manager or whatever. Let's have a look at a few other certificates. So again, recipient name, reason of achievement. Again, it is the same recipient reason field, but styled differently. Issuer, UID, issuing date. Let's have a look at a few others. Yeah, there might be like not only logo URL, but website URL of the issuer. So issuer URL, issuer website URL, and issuer logo URL. Okay, again, we've got issuer company name, date, number. So a lot of information in all these templates is really similar. There's just different designs and different header text, like of completion, of achievement, certificate of appreciation. You see some of them have this QR as an example, but QR is going to be an optional feature for us, I guess. So I would also add a list of features, core features. So QR codes. But anyway, let's select a template and okay, we can customize background, elements like logos, QR codes, texts. Okay, attributes of each certificate. So you see, like I named it modifications, and they have attributes. So we can potentially add additional attributes in this editor. And QR code, that is a premium feature in this case. Okay, how do I go further? My design one, create certificate design. And I need to create a group of recipients. So I would name it as like campaign. Groups or campaigns or events. Healthcare webinar, yeah, that's fine. Or Ruby on Rails SaaS conference. URL to the event or to the course or whatever. Let's just copy something. Expiration. Okay, expiration would be also an optional feature for this specific event. So we've got the certificate template model, and we've got this event or group or campaign model. And the campaign model has a name. It has a link. Oh, actually, it would be not a string but a text, because URLs can get much longer than 255 characters. Expiration. Yeah, so having a QR code, having an expiration date could be conditional within a specific event. So an event could have event certificate template ID. So certificate template references. Okay, and delivery. So delivery by email, and here is an example of the email that they would be sending. So delivery, and it will be like email by default. Okay, let's create this group. So we have selected a certificate, we have created an event, and now we can add recipients. And we can upload a spreadsheet with a list or add them manually. And you see that there was this really interesting thing. it would be important for many organizations to tick that I have the right to use personal data of the recipients. This application is really well thought through. Okay, and I can upload a list of it looks like there is some connection problem. Okay, looks like I'm back. Yeah, so yeah, let me get a spreadsheet template. Here it is. Okay, recipient name and recipient email. Let me upload this specific template that I just downloaded. And yeah, we've got recipient name, recipient email. We can add some kind of additional attributes. Okay, let's preview. You should map. Oh my god, how can I? Okay, goodbye. Preview before publishing. So I've added a list of recipients. So inside each event, there will be list of recipients. Well, in our case, we will just name them certificates. And we'll have event references. So looking at a database model, it would look like, let's try to build an example of YML. We would have a table of certificate templates. It would have a name. We would have a list of events. And we would have a list of certificates. Yeah, it's sometimes easier to copy and do based on something existing. Okay, so we've got event, and event has or a group. Let's name it group. It has name and different additional params. And we would have user. No, it's not relevant for now. A certificate would have a list of modifications. So these are like fields that apply only to this particular certificate template. A group has, a certificate belongs to a group, so it would have group ID. Yeah, for some reason the app isn't, okay, maybe it should be like name string. Okay, yeah, now it is generating. So a certificate template has many groups. So yeah, let's add the relationship. A certificate template has many groups, and a group has many certificates. It would be like the most basic level of our diagram. Okay, let's go back to this app that we were using. So here's an example of a generated file. I guess this is more like an image at the moment for our recipient. And yeah, everything has been populated with the recipient's fields. And here's an example of an email. Okay, so looks good. Let's click save and publish. Understand. Now this looks quite needless, but okay, credential has been distributed. So yeah, looks fine. We see that it is published, email not opened. Yeah, we are actually doing a lot of tracking. Credential not open, no engagement, not added to LinkedIn. So you see there's a lot of stuff that we track for this recipient. This is actually really cool. And let's see how the recipient would view this certificate. You see there is this like URL that is available for non-logged in users. And yeah, there's this certificate that the user can download or have a link to, but you see it is kind of not a premium account as in this example, so there are no social links, and there is no way to add to LinkedIn. You see there is no button add to LinkedIn profile here. Okay, looks quite cool. Let's have a look at a few other applications that could do something like this. So we've got Certifier. Let's see, we've got whom else? Generate certificate PDF. Oh, actually Bear has something like that. Let's have a look at what Bear offers. This is actually a really cool application that, as far as I know, is used mostly for like generating images via API written in Ruby on Rails. Okay, let's have a look. So high quality templates, download. They've got 4 certificate templates by default, and you see we have a few of the fields that have different names or something. So we've got 4 certificate templates. Let's try generating a certificate. Click on PDF. Okay, again, needlessly saying that it is being generated. And here we've got this certificate, and we can download it as an image or as a PDF. So this was really fast. And you see this is like an online tool to do it really fast. Actually, this could be a really great marketing page. So like you don't have to sign up, you don't have to do anything. You can just like fill in a few fields and generate a certificate. This is also really cool. And let's have a look at the API. In the API, they might have a few fields that would be useful for our application. Yeah, the image object, I think it is the main like object that is generated by the application. So everything would have like created at, status, a URL, UID, template that has been used to generate the image or PDF, a list of modifications, as I have put in my spreadsheet. Basically, fields that would be applicable to this particular template, because a few templates could have like different applicable fields. Yeah, a few additional fields. Okay, so looks fine. Anyway, Bear seems to have something of the functionality that we need. The Certifier app seems to be really similar to what I would like to build. And then I've also seen that there is this thing like a credible or like credentials.net, whatever they are, a credible. So badges, certificates, digital credentials. Yeah, they are also building a lot of similar stuff, I guess. So again, generating digital certificates, and here is an example of a digital certificate on their website. So yeah, somewhat similar to Certifier. Here is an example from Certifier. Here is an example from this credential.net or credible, whatever they are called. And yeah, we can actually have an object of a user and see all the credentials of this user. Yeah, the credential is generated as an image. We can download it as a PDF. We can email, embed. So a lot of features. And to be able to compete with the Certifier or this credential thing, or with this API feature of Bear, I think we would need to build out maybe all of these features while having some kind of competitive advantage and unique value proposition. So this can be quite challenging. Also in this list of like, yeah, and we would also have to have a blog that would be competing with their articles and so on. So, I mean, building a business, like you can think that you've got a unique idea and after 2 minutes of Googling, you can just get so desperate about, okay, like it's not a new idea, there is competitions, there are other guys that are doing the same thing in a good way. Maybe a way to differentiate would be to serve a specific niche, either regional or a specific market sector, like only for Ruby on Rails certificates or only for courses from a specific language school, or to partner up with some government or with university to be issuing certificates for them. Yeah, let's have a look at the pricing of these guys, for example. So there is a free tier with 100 certificates, a paid tier, a premium tier with a price growing depending on how many certificates you want to generate. But really, like, this isn't a costly thing, so it's just like an organization that does generate 1,000 certificates and finds value would definitely be able to pay this amount of money. Yeah, this seems to be quite a nice app that we would need to compete with. Let's have a look at their competition. There is this Crunchbase that I often go to see people who work in different companies and how much has been invested into a company. Like this guy's got 60K. How long ago? They got 60K in 2021. Let's have a look at similar companies. So there is this Give My Certificate. Okay, their website definitely looks much more generic. How many is it? 3 million documents sent. Well, that sounds like quite a big number. Okay, they also have a free plan, a few different plans, email templates, custom logo or QR code, crypto certificate. Yeah, so there seem to be quite a lot of apps on the market, but I don't believe these guys. Okay, they are from India. I see, because they have a link to Startup India. I see this verified certificate is just a fake page. This seems to be just a website on GitHub pages. Okay, let's try signing in. Let's try something random. Okay, these guys also require me to verify the email, so I will have to use a real account. Okay, and they do actually have some kind of platform. So I can create organizations, events. I can select or create a template. Let's create a template. I can input an image. Let me find some kind of image. I'll input just a random one. Okay, they automatically placed a QR code, an authenticity message. Okay, I've got a template. I don't have any certificates yet. I've got events, and yeah, I've got the organization model where possible I would be able to input the logo and the URL, so like the information about the organization that I represent. I think this is also quite important here. We would need to have an organization. So let's say like table organization. It would have a name, it would have a website URL, it would have a logo, URL, or an attached logo, and the organization would have many groups. So group would have organization ID. Okay, let's arrange. No, certificate template isn't related to organization. Why do we have it? Group should be have organization, shouldn't have certificate template ID. I think it's some kind of error. Okay, because I missed this, I guess. Yeah, this looks more legit. So an organization can create groups or campaigns or whatever you call them. Inside the group, you select a certificate template and you upload a list of recipients with the right fields and you generate certificates. I really can't wait to build this thing. Yeah, and there is quite a lot of competition. And you know, like whenever you start a project, like when you want to start some kind of business project, if you go to some kind of like boot camp or whatever, or startup competition, you will be offered to fill in a business model canvas. It's like a lot of different fields to understand what are you actually building. And I know, maybe let's try having a look. And yeah, create some kind of canvas and see what will we be adding based on our learnings. I think a competition part is missing, so the problem is generate creating and creating, storing, and distributing certificates. Yeah, so basically not everybody will be able to host the certificates or like manually email them. I think it makes sense to have a service where you like keep track of all the certificates that you have issued and recipients, and automatically like generate and send. So well, the solution is understood. The distribution channels, how am I going to sell this? This is quite tough, I guess. How am I going to sell? Possibly contact people whom I know who might need this. So like direct sales. I don't know, like blog about it and hope that I will be found. So like organic SEO, via organic SEO, who knows. Sales can be a tough part, unfair advantage. I don't know, maybe simplicity or not forcing users to use an editor, I don't know. Customer segments. So I've written them down here more or less with the target audiences, like what you can issue certificates for, but this would be like language, schools, business trainers, so, and actually like not only business trainers, like people who teach others to do eyelashes, so like any workshop trainers. I think a big client could be universities. This would maybe be able to pay the most. yeah, I think it's more or less fine. Yeah, and also for like online courses. So for example, I sell online course like I've got this course that I sell, and you would be able to receive a certificate of completion of this course from me via this application. Okay, unfair advantage. It's me. Maybe I will find a specific market or something. Unique value proposition. I mean, the whole thing that is been proposed is, I guess, quite unique. But if you think what is unique in comparison to the competition, maybe I will try to lowball them with the pricing, or maybe maybe I will have the premium tier features in my free premium, in my free tier. So again, like for example, these guys are the ones that were from India. I don't know whether these received pricing. Received funding. I guess not. But the ones with certified, they received 60K, and they seem to be really serious about what they're doing. So they're burning money, hopefully, to me. Well, they might be actually making a lot of money. Who knows? Considering that they only disclosed the money that they received for 60K in 2021, and they've got 7 people working, they must have already burned through that money, and they are either generating revenue and self-sustainable, or possibly could have been an undisclosed round of funding. But they have many more mouths to feed, and if I make $1,000 or $2,000 per month on my application, I would already be unmeasurably happy. So maybe my appetites would be smaller than theirs. Yeah. Anyway, I really can't wait to start building the application. And I think it's what I'm going to do in the next video. So yeah, let's make a small conclusion. I'm going to build CertificateOwl. Why did I actually name it CertificateOwl? I was thinking of, okay, like certificate generation. First, I wanted the name very certi, like very certi. And I actually bought this domain a year ago, and like verified, certified, so sounds quite good. But CertificateOwl, I think it sounds a bit more memorable. Tell me, what do you like more, very certi or CertificateOwl? And what do I see if I like Google very certi? Yeah, there's like my repo, or there's me on my blog, and a few random certificates. And if I Google CertificateOwl, yeah, actually a cool thing about very certi that there are few results. And yeah, we actually have a lot of certificates and owls, so there is already this like mental framework of like owl granting a certificate or something. So yeah, that's why I thought that the mental model of like having owls and certificates already makes some sense. Tell me, what do you think is better? Yeah, I just asked you this question in the chat, so tell me, what do you think? Should I stay with CertificateOwl or go back to very certi while we are just starting? Yeah, so in the next episode we're already going to start to build, I would say not an MVP, but a proof of concept, where we can select a certificate, we can upload a CSV and send emails, and users would receive links to a certificate that they can view and possibly add to their LinkedIn. Okay, so yeah, thanks for being with me, and see you in the next episode, where we will be building a proof of concept application using Ruby on Rails for this certificate generation application. Thank you, and see you in